Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss how to solve two simultaneous equations. Okay, so we're going to solve for x and y simultaneously. We have this system of two simultaneous equations in two unknowns, and the unknowns are x and y. So we have to solve for x and y. So now let's start by going to equation 1. Okay, if you look at equation 1 here, you've got xy is equal to 8. So what we can do is this. We can divide both sides of equation 1 by y. Okay, so we can take equation 1 and we can divide both sides. We can divide both sides of this equation by y to solve for x. So when we do so, this happens. The two y's will cancel out on the left. Okay, so therefore you will be left with just x. All right. Okay, and on the right hand side of the equation you've got 8 divided by y. So therefore this implies the following. So equation 1, we take equation 1 and we solve for x basically by dividing both sides of this equation by y. So this gives us the following. Now we end up with x is equal to 8 divided by y. Okay, so we get this from equation 1. We take equation 1, which is xy is equal to 8. We divide both sides of this equation 1 by y to solve for x. On the left side, we cancel out the y's and we are left with x. On the right side, we are left with 8 divided by y. So we have basically solved for x using the equation 1. But of course, x is in terms of y, so we need to solve for y. Okay, so now we go to the next step. Now in the next step, what we do is the following. We substitute this x is equal to 8 over y. We substitute it into the second equation. Okay, so we say, okay, this implies the following. We say 2, and in place of x, we put 8 over y. So we basically go to equation 2, and we substitute this 8 over y into x. Okay, plus y is equal to 17. All right, and then we go ahead and we simplify this and we solve this equation for y. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that implies the following. 2 times 8 at the top there is 16. So now we got 16 over y plus y is equal to 17. Okay, now we're here. And then the next step, we want to multiply throughout this equation by y because we want to cancel out the y at the bottom in the first term on the right-hand side of this equation. So let's multiply by y throughout the equation. Okay, so now we're going to have y multiplied by 16 over y plus y multiplied by y is equal to y multiplied by 17. And that gives you 17y. Okay, so you basically multiply throughout this equation by y, and then you get this. All right, so now we're going to look in the first term over there, and we're going to cancel out the y's there in the first term. Okay, so we cancel out these y's here because the other y is at the top and the other y is at the bottom, so they cancel out. Okay, and we are left with 16 over there. All right, we are left with 16 over there. So this implies the following. So now we have 16 plus y times y, which is y squared, is equal to 17y. Okay, So now, this is what we have. This is the equation that we have. And we can already see that this equation is basically a quadratic equation, but we have to write it in standard form. So we're going to get all the terms on one side, and then we're going to have 0 on the other side. All right, so we're going to minus both sides of this equation. We're going to minus by 17y. So we minus 17y on the left and minus 17y on the right. And when we minus 17y on the right, it cancels out this 17y on the right and gives us 0. So therefore, we end up with the following. And then I'm going to write it now in standard form. We're going to end up with y squared minus 17y plus 16 is equal to 0. You see, it's a quadratic equation written in standard form. And we have to solve for this unknown y. So now, we basically now have to factorize this trinomial on the left-hand side of this equation. Okay, so to factorize, we're going to write 2 brackets as follows. And we're going to put equals 0. So we're going to put y here. We're going to put y there. Okay. And to factorize this, we know that if we take minus 1 and multiply it by minus 16, it's going to give us positive 16, okay, which is, of course, the last term over here. And we know very well that if we add minus 1 and minus 16, we get minus 17. So therefore, that's basically how we factorize this trinomial, all right? And this basically now means the following. Y minus 1 is equal to 0, or y minus 16 is equal to 0. Okay, so we solve this, and we get that y is equal to 1, all right? Or we solve this, and we get that y is equal to 16. So therefore, we have solved this equation. We have solved it for y. And it gives us 2 y values. It gives us 2 y values. And then now we go back to what we have here. Okay, we go back to what we have here. Okay, what we have here is the following. We said that x is equal to 8 over y. That's what we said. And we got this from the first equation. So now we have to solve for the corresponding x values using the y values that we solved for here. Okay, so to do that, we do the following. All right? To do that, we do the following. All right? So let's go and solve for the corresponding x values. So we say therefore, all right? Therefore, y is equal to 1, okay? So this is now for the solution y is equal to 1. Now y is equal to 1 implies the following. It implies that x is equal to 8 divided by 1, which of course is equal to 8. So now we use this expression that we got from the first equation to solve for the x values. We just simply replace the y values we solved for into this expression, starting with the first y value, which is y is 1. So y is 1 implies x is equal to 8 over 1, which is equal to 8. And also y is equal to 16 implies that x is equal to 8 divided by 16, which is equal to the following. It's the same as 1 over, when you simplify it, it's the same as 1 over 2, which is a half. So therefore, the solution then, you can write it as follows. The solution that we're looking for, which is the solution of the simultaneous equations that were given, the solution is as follows. Okay, the solution is x is equal to 8. Okay, x is equal to 8, which we've solved for here. And the corresponding y value there is y is equal to 1. All right, and so it's 2 solutions. It's x is 8, y is 1. And the second solution is x is a half, x is 1 over 2, and y is 16. Okay, let me write that again. Okay, let me go back. I want to explicitly write y, okay, x and y. So I'll say x is equal to 1 over 2 and y is 16, all right? So this basically now is the solution of this system of simultaneous equations, all right? And you can check these solutions, you can check them, there's two solutions. You can check if they are correct by substituting them into this system of simultaneous equations and see if they satisfy this system. And you find that you'll find that they do. Okay, you'll find that they do satisfy the system. So guys, that's the end of the video. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. And of course, if you found that this video helped you, if any of my videos help you, subscribe to the channel, support this channel by subscribing to it, and of course like the video, and also comment in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.